Ștefan Jurcă Hlib Novosolov. Voice of Architecture 2023. Yoshimura House. Designed by Ștefan Jurcă Hlib Novosolov.
Introduction.
My name is Ștefan Jurcă. I originally come from Romania, and I currently live and work in Switzerland. I have studied in Munich and in Paris, and my interest in architecture is to find the meeting point between traditional forms of architecture and the newest technologies in the field.
My name is Hlib Novosolov. I've studied at technical universities of Aachen, Munich and Milan. During my studies I worked as a research assistant at the Department of Structural Design, where I developed interest for lightweight architecture that follows the structure and makes it dynamic.
We met in Basel, Switzerland, working at the same office, and we quickly discovered that we have similar design philosophies as well as views on the future of architecture, and that inspired us to join various architecture competitions as a team.
We decided to take part in Off the Grid Architectural Competition 2023 because it provides a very big amount of design freedom. At the same time, it introduces very specific and interesting design constraints. And as both being interested in self-sustainable houses, we were eager to jump into this discourse.
Design details.
Our initial idea was to maximize the energy efficiency of the house by using a spherical shape in order to minimize the surface to volume ratio. We designed a floor plan that uses as much internal volume as possible while being ergonomic for the inhabitants. To avoid using thick insulation, the building consists of two layers: an inner core, which has the central heating element of the house, as well as various crucial spaces for the inhabitants, as well as the outside buffer space, which is situated circularly around the inner core of the house. Consequently, the air and the walls of this buffer space, it thermally insulates the inner core in a passive way.
In order to create an outside foldable shell, we had to address multiple design challenges, such as structural integrity, weight, and absence of complicated mechanisms. It seemed like origami could provide solutions to all of these problems to us. So after a thorough research of multiple crease patterns, we decided to go with the Yoshimura because it could provide bracing in multiple directions. It was very easy to unfold, and it could be operated manually by a person. We then moved to constructing physical origami models to test the directions of folding and if it really could be constructed out of rigid panels. And when we were satisfied with that, we moved on to visual programming. We used Grasshopper and OriCAD to determine how much origami cells we need to have, which are the scales and the form of the outer shell.
During the process of planning our house, we were met with a few challenges, particularly the size of the house and its unconventional shape make us not always really understand how big things were just by looking at the plan. So we resorted to VR and visualizing the house with a VR headset in order to see the house in real time as we also planned it, and making sure that all the objects that we planned are situated comfortably for the inhabitants of the house.
Advice for aspiring designers.
For the young aspiring designers interested in sustainable architecture, we would advise you to go all in with your ideas, explore strong, independent and brave concepts, test idea to their fullest potential. In these idea competitions, it's not only about feasibility and costs, but also about opening the discourse, widening the overtone window, and just bringing the new discussion into the topic of sustainability?
The competition made us more interested in the creation of tiny, self-sustaining homes, and this is definitely a subject which we're gonna get further into in the future.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
For latest architecture competitions, visit Archiol competitions.